Hello, my name is Sarah Berry and today I'm going to show you the Vivid Vases takeaway class kit. Now you should have received your kit in the post and it will look like this. Inside you will have the stamp, which you'll need to stick the sticker onto the block and the rubber onto the other side. You have 3 pens, the Pear Pizzazz, Basic Black and Real Red. You've got 3 meters of ribbon and trim, the Coastal Cabana ruffle stretch trim, the seam binding in Soft Sky and the satin organza in Whisper White. And there's a little packet with 3 die cut pieces, 1 sheet of foam pads, 6 medium pearls, and there'll also be 3 rows of pearls that are all joined together. A packet of Whisper White envelopes, there's 6 in there, and also the designer series paper, the Fresh Prints patterns, and there's 12 sheets, one sheet of every pattern in there. Then we have 6 pre-scored cards, 2 of each colour, and then 2 A5 in Real Red, 2 A5 in Crumb Cake, 2 A5 in Coastal Cabana, and then lastly 4 A5 sheets of Whisper White and some grid paper. Now you will also find it very useful to have a trimmer. This is my Stampin' Up trimmer. You might, if you have one, you might find it useful to have a Stamp-A-Majig or some kind of stamp positioner to line up your stamp. If you don't, it's not a problem. Some scissors for your ribbon, and a stamp cleaner if you have one. Sorry. Okay. Oh, gone up my nose. Okay, now these are the cards, as I said, and first of all we're going to make this red card. Okay, now we're going to make the first card. Now this is the Real Red card. And for this you'll need to have the pre-scored card, some crumb cake and the Whisper White. Now you have enough pieces in this kit to mix the colours around a bit, because you have enough to make 6 cards. You can always add some of your own card if you want to make more, because you've got plenty of the paper. And so we're going to start with cutting the paper for the background. Now I've used the same paper as I have done on the sample, and the measurements are 12 by 8. And I've just centered my paper in my trimmer to make sure I've got the pattern even on either side. And then if you find the centre of your pattern piece at 4 centimetres and cut up a couple of centimetres, there we go, you cut away this triangle. So I cut up in the centre and then from the sides to find the middle point, and that creates your bunting, kind of fishtail bunting shape. Now you can save these for another day. Okay, and I also forgot to say you need some adhesive, double-sided tape. A wet glue would be fine too. And I'm just going to lay this down on the card base. I've got a bit of a cough at the moment, so I'm going to keep sipping my tea. I do apologise. Oh. Okay, now the next piece to go down on the card is the crumb cake colour, and mine is 7.5 by 10.5. You can adjust the height if you wish. Okay, 7.5 by 10.5, and the 10.5 is the full width of the card front. I'll glue this down as well. Oops. There we go. Okay, now you'll need your white piece, your stamp, and the black, basic black pen. Now when you look at your pen, can you see? When you look at your pens, we have a wide marker here for the brush tip, and then a small line for the pen tip. So that's quite handy if you're looking at your pens from a glance, and you can just pick it up and know instantly which one we want. And what you need to do is use the side of the brush tip here. Use the side of the brush tip and just draw, or colour in rather, the whole of the stamp. When you're colouring in your stamps, if it's quite a large stamp or you're using lots of colours, you'll need to huff. I think that's the technical term. I think you need to huff on your stamp, which will probably make me cough. Oh dear, it's already. And that just, the moisture in your breath just brings the ink to life again, so it's not dried. Okay. Now I've put it where I should have turned my card around really to save my card, but I've put it here because I'm now going to measure this distance and this distance to get it centred. I could have used my Stampin'-A-Jig, but in case you don't have one, I'm going to do it this way. I'm just going to get a pencil. Which is just about alive. Now 10.5 centimetres on my ruler, and I'm just going to line that up so I've got the same measurement either side, and just give a rough mark. Ooh. And then the height is 7 centimeters. So again, I'm going to position my stamp in the center of 7 centimeters and draw a line. This is a quicker way of making sure you've got it centered if you don't have the stamp positioner, and or if you're not confident by doing it by eye and cutting out your size first. It's a good way of doing it. Oh, nearly cut my finger off, right. So we have the crumb cake piece, which is 10.5 by 7.5, and then the white piece, which is 10.5 by 7. Oh, I did cut my finger. I'm just going to get a plaster so I don't bleed everywhere, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm now back. This is live crafting, so accidents happen. Now I've done that, put it to the side to dry, and find some more of the white, sorry, no, we are jumping ahead. You need to find the pattern with the wave, the blue wave, and polka dots on the reverse. You need to stamp again and the pen, and this time we're just going to colour in the vases. Okay, now I've cut all these vases out. When you're cutting them out, just make sure you don't go on the black line, just to the side of the black line, because we want to keep that black just to so we can see the vase shape. I've stuck a whole foam pad on the back of the ones on the side and the centre, and then just half a foam pad on these two. Now I'm going to stick this down. And then stick my vases down. I'm just going to bend them slightly. After you've stuck your vases onto your card, you want to use your real red and Vases pens and just colour in the flowers. I've left little pieces of white on a couple of them just so they're not all a solid red colour. Here we've got a row of 9 pearls, just to highlight the word wonderful. And with the seam binding, you wrap it round your card in the centre, tie a bow, and then with the ends you just need to fray them. I'll just show you on the camera. Okay, so you just grab the end and pull, and then you want to pinch the middle, just a couple of strands from the middle. I find it helps if you give it a little twist to grab hold of them and just pull and gather the binding backwards or towards the centre of the bow, and that is how you create that ruffled look on the edge. You can play with it, do it a bit tighter. If you don't like it, you can stretch it out again. Just play about with the effect. On the original card, I cut the strands of the ribbon off and made a V, and on this one I've just left them just something a little bit different, and you can choose whether you want to cut them or keep them on. Okay, that is card number 1, and card number 2 will be at the bottom of this video in the information box at the underneath.